Hey everyone, it's a beautiful spring day here in Melbourne, Australia, in a temperate region, and we are getting ready to pull up some potatoes that have been planted in pots, and we're going to plant some seeds. I just wanted to show you my frangipanis are out in the sun. They're very frost tender. I think we're probably post-frost season. In Australia there's no firm date that they predict for a last frost date, so you kind of have to figure it out for yourself. But in this part of Melbourne, in the suburbs where it's a bit warmer than out in the country, usually alright by the middle of October, so we're nearly there. But let's plant some seeds. If you've been here a little while, you'd know that I plant most things from seed, and this is the next lot. Basically, I succession sow seeds most of the year, but it keeps the veggies coming and keeps the pests at bay a little bit, because if they got one lot they may not get the next lot. But let's get going. So these latest seeds are going to be in the garden bed. Shouldn't dry out too much. They're in a tray that can keep water in the bottom. But I also have to make sure that the beans and peas don't get too wet. I might even take them out of the tray. We'll see. We'll see what the weather's like. So these pale camellias that I found in my driveway, one of the nice things about moving house to somewhere new, these cuttings will go here. They're in a cutting mix, seedling mix of course, so there's nice sort of loose potting mix around their roots to be, the roots that are coming. And I've pulled out some of my bigger tomatoes, so I've got a bit more space in here, and I'll put them in the garden bed with the others. It's later in the day. I was going to say late in the day, it's not really. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's a bit sunny, so I'll put them in the shade, and overnight they'll adjust a little bit. Then once it gets warmer in the morning, tomorrow I will put them back in the shade so that they don't get hardened off too quickly and not survive, because they're a bit soft and not really hardened off, which is why they call it that. You might have seen me gathering up the potting mix from the potatoes, so I'll use this again. It's really just a medium. This is a really cheap mix, so it's mostly sawdust anyway, and pine bark. So I'll mix in some manure and put something in there that's not too fussy, like another root crop. Perhaps beetroot this time. So here's our potato harvest for this time round. So they're in a pot with very basic potting mix, pretty much the cheapest you can buy at a certain box store. These 5 are the original ones, the brown ones. These don't even have any soft spots on them, so we can still eat those if we want to. And I might use some of these to replant to keep the system going. And these have soft spots, and the others that I threw in the garden bed as I was going had really soft spots, so I thought you probably wouldn't want to see those ones. But yes, nice little haul. I quite like eating the tiny little potatoes. These little ones, they make good little cottage fries kind of things if you roast them in the oven. I've mentioned before kids and grandkids and things in the garden. I was a bit slack this week and didn't put this in my garden tub straight away, and I left it on the balcony and my little granddaughter grabbed it. I always shadow her in the garden, I don't leave her out here. But she grabbed it and she said, "Plant milk?" She's very clever for a 2-year-old, but it's not milk. but she got the plant bit right. So always be careful, especially with concentrates. I'm not sure if this would be really dangerous for a child, but I don't want her to drink it. Yeah, it's just a little note. So I hope you're having fun in your garden. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.